Fellas, Nairobi. Protests started in Nairobi on Monday, Tuesday over the death of Kenyan blogger Albert Ojwang.
Where the people that must protect us are killing us, where will we run? Where will you run?
I think I spoke about this and I think I murdered his name, Ojwang. Okay, so peace be with him. The man was found unalived. A very sorry situation after being in custody in a location on Sunday. So this guy was taken from wherever he was. I can't remember the name of that town they took him. Like 350 kilometers away. That's where he was unalived. So you take somebody from where he lives. You take him 350 kilometers away from where he lives. That's where he's unalive in a police station. Why was he not registered in the police station where you stopped him? Apparently for doing what? He's a blogger, internet people. Because he said something about some politician. Very, very sad. He said something. That's what I'm saying to you. Africans, the more I develop about Africans, the more something is being birthed inside me toward its resentment. That's the nature. I don't know what it is, but there's a level of resentment. Because you see things in fact. I'm a very fair human being. I like to be in the middle. I will tell the truth the way it is. And sometimes the truth sounds like an accusation. So according to the police, he injured himself. That's what they said after they saw his body. They say he injured himself banging his head against a wall in a cell.
If the DH is going to be mentioned, then definitely you relate the statements, and I believe it's on that basis that now he can be able to step aside to allow for that completion of that investigation.
The allegation of the deceased, Albert, banging his head on the wall came from Central Police Station, and he is the officer commanding Central Police Station. Why would an officer coin such a narrative?
Why would you bang your head against? Are you drunk or on drugs? I'm just asking. Autopsy conducted on Tuesday indicated that Ojwang was strangled in the police custody.
When I examine the pattern of the injuries, especially on the head, the bleeds, the hematoma that I found on the head, hitting against a blunt substance, a wall, would have a particular pattern, a frontal bleeds. But the bleeds that we found on the scalp, on the skin of the head, was partially spread on all aspects, including the face, the sides of the head, and also the back of the head. When we tie up together with other injuries that are well spread in the body, including the upper limbs and the trunk, then this is unlikely to be self-inflicted injury.
So the autopsy said something completely different. The man didn't bang his head on the whatever. He was strangled. Okay, I can just imagine 350 kilometers what was happening in 300? Because he says something about a politician. Maybe, these politicians are stealing from us, or these politicians are not serious. I don't understand. Like, why would you want to do politics or be a public servant if you're not ready for criticism? Why would you want to be a public servant if you're not ready for criticism? I'm just saying, find another job. You cannot be a public servant and say, I don't want criticism. You have to be critiqued. Because that's what it is about. You're serving other people. They're not serving you. Okay, now, the sad situation is, according to government pathologist Dr. Bernard Media, Ojwang sustained multiple injury consistent with assault, not self-harm. So he was assaulted. He was beaten 300 kilometers away. Okay, doesn't this sound to you like abduction? Okay, I don't know if police will act in this way. Only criminals. Unfortunately, criminals are within police forces nowadays. I remember I was driving in a country I'm not going to name. The police, the road police, there's a specific way they call them. If I say they will know which country it is. The road police stopped me. They were like, hey, sir, how are you? Is driver's license? Everything is good. I'm like, wait, yeah. Then they're like, oh, can you buy us some juice or cold drink, however you call it. I'm like, no, I don't have any money. But in the meantime, I had some money in my pocket. It fell on the ground. The lady, who could be around her 60s, okay, if not 60s, late 50s at least, she's somewhere in the 50s. She put her foot, stepped on the money. She stepped on the money so that when I look away, she picked up the money, put it in her pocket. And who told me? you got some guys that watch cars in some countries because there's crime, people will break into your car. The guy that was washing my car, he saw everything. Okay, and he saw her, but he couldn't say, hey, she just stepped onto your money. This is a police officer. This is a road police. I was shocked. This is an African lady. She could be an auntie to me. I'm like, wow, I was wowed. Really? People like this, you have enforced. I mean, when people like this put you in jail and you have issues with, they will beat you up bad. And trust me, they have developed technique on how to beat you up without necessarily having to show any impact of it. It's criminals. Africa needs a lot of work, my brothers. Now, this pathologist against it said when we examined the pattern of the injury, especially on the trauma, I found that on his head, hitting against a blunt substance like a wall would have a pattern. This is Dr. Misia saying. Now, Ojwang was arrested again on a Friday in Homa Bay, Western Kenya, and driven 400 kilometers to the capital, Nairobi. The human rights group said that the deputy police chief Eliud Lagat was the reason for his arrest. This is human rights saying deputy police was the reason for his arrest. Yes, fellas, it's very, very sad to see this. This is sad. Is this colonialism? Is this a white man mistreating a black man? Okay. Is this Europeans stamping on Africans? Yeah, that's the reality. I pray that Kenya finds a solution with this. I know there's a special police working on this case, and I pray that they find a solution and bring the harshest measure against these people. I also heard that some of them were temporarily arrested or temporarily will be paid, but among those who are guilty should have the harshest measures, because that boy or that man is probably somebody's husband. I don't know him. He's maybe somebody's father who was taken forever, somebody's son who was a helper, gone forever. For doing what? For criticizing a public servant? Donald Trump is exalted every single day. In some countries in Africa, I'm not going to do any naming again today, people are insulted. Nobody makes noise. Why? Who is more Kenyan than the other Kenyan? We cry. All of us in Africa, we are crying this man. He's our brother. All of us, we crying this man. We want justice. We ask the Kenyan authorities to find justice for this man.
We are here advocating for justice for Albert Ojwang.
And if justice is served, we will talk about it. Let justice be served for this man. God bless.